Hey everybody, this is Fully Off and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to build the Cactus module for the one chunk fully automatic farming complex. Now, as with all the other modules in the complex, this can be built standalone or you can incorporate it anywhere you like inside the one chunk farm. It doesn't have to be at the top, doesn't have to be at the bottom, doesn't have to be in the middle, it can be anywhere. But as I say, you can build it standalone if you just want a cactus farm, then you can build it as a standalone farm. So I'll put a list of everything you need to build this on screen now. Just pause the video if you need to. Okay, to start with, grab your block of choice, whichever block you've built the rest of the farm out of, and put a wall, one high, all the way around the top of the farm, or wherever it is you want to build it. Now, if you want to build this as a standalone unit, you're going to need an area that is 19 wide by 19 deep. So the gap in the middle is 17 by 17. So it's 19 blocks by 19 blocks. And the center is going to be 17 by 17. Okay, so once you've done that, you need to find the middle. And we've identified the middle by using a stone block, but if you don't know where it is, just pop out a few blocks till you find the middle. The middle is going to be the one that's, well, in the middle, really, directly above the center column in your farm. So what you need to do is, once you've identified that block, you need to build up 6 blocks above it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can pop out all the blocks underneath, including the center block, including that one. Just being careful that you don't fall down there. What you don't want to be doing is falling down there. Otherwise, that's a long old way down in it. You're going to get stuck. Now, so that serves 2 purposes. Firstly, that's the roof. That's going to be the roof of this module. And secondly, it prevents sunlight, daylight access to the farms below. So the carrot and potato farms down there will continue to work. If you didn't have that block there, the light would be too great down at your carrot and potato farms and they'd stop working. But now we've got that block there, they'll work fine. If you're building this as a standalone cactus farm, you don't need that block there just yet. But for the time being, you do. So then, get yourself to the front left-hand corner of your farm. And you want to count 1 block in and 1 block to the right. And put a temporary block there. And then put another one on top of it. This is going to be the level where your sand is going, your sand for your cactus to stand on. So it's going to be at this level. Now you can either do this with solid blocks if you want to, or you can do what I'm going to do and you can use slabs. So pop out those 2 blocks again and put your slabs in. Now that's going to be the level where your sand goes. Now because cactus can't grow next to each other, we're going to have to put a slab and then we're going to miss one, then a slab and then miss one. But to make this easier, it's probably easier if you just go all the way down with slabs until you get to 1 block from the end and then go sort of down 1 and then reverse yourself back on yourself and then pop that block out. So now we've got a complete line of slabs at the right height, and we'll go down in a second and pop out all the ones we don't need. So just to do that again, all the way down to 1 from the end, and then go down 1 lane, pop that one out and do it again. Down another one, pop it out. All the way down. And do that until you get to 1 block from the other side. Okay, so then you're left with that. Okay, so you're left with 8 lines. And now you need to pop out every other block. So that's the block you want to keep. You pop out that one. That's the one you want to keep. Pop out that one, keep, miss 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 one, that sort of thing. You want to do that all the way down. And then all the way back. And all the way down. So then you're left with something that looks a little bit like that. Now you want to find your center block, again, the one that we've popped out, and you want to knock out the 4 blocks closest to it. And then you need to stick down a temporary block at the bottom. And then you want to put in whatever the block is that you're going to be building your center column out of. We need a center column in here to catch all the stuff from the farms above it. So put yourself down a center block, because we don't want to be blocking the water from this farm. This is going to have water on the bottom. So that block is going to be removed. And then you put the block above it that you want to make your center column out of. And then just make a tower, make a column out of whatever block it is that you're using for your center columns up to your roof, up to your ceiling. Like that, and then the top one is going to be your solid block. Okay, so now you're left with something that looks like that. And all the stuff from your farms above are going to fall down this center column. If you don't have anything above this farm, you don't need to put that in. You can just leave those slabs where they were and put cactus on them. This is only needed if you're building farms above it. If you're going to put your iron golem farm at the top, you're going to need this there. Otherwise your iron could potentially fall down onto your cactus and then you'll lose your iron. So that's what the center column's for. Now what you need to do is grab yourself some sand and put a block of sand on top of every one of these slabs. Okay, so now we've got that, we need to put in the mechanism that's going to break the cactus when they grow. And we do this using panes of glass. Now you can use fence posts if you want to. If your entire build is wood or has a woody theme and you want to stick with the wood theme, you can use fence posts for this. But because mine is built out of quartz and glass, I'm going to stick with the glass theme. So I'm using panes, but as I said, you can use fence posts. It's just as it works just as well. So what you want to do is put yourself down 2 temporary blocks on the one furthest to the left, the first sand block, and then put a glass pane next to it. Then you can break those out. Then miss one and put 2 more blocks and do exactly the same thing. Put a pane of glass, break those out. Miss one, 2 blocks, pane of glass, break them out. Miss one, put 2 blocks, pane of glass, break those out. So now you've got the 2 sand blocks that are going to have cactus on them with a pane in the middle. And then you've got 2 blocks there with a pane in the middle, 2 blocks there, pane in the middle, 2 blocks there, pane in the middle. And you need to do that for all of these. Now, if you're good, if you can do this, you can just run panes of glass all the way down here, all the way down the middle. And then just pop out the ones that are in between the sand. So you need to pop that one out, pop that one out. So you're left with the pane of glass in the middle. Pop that one, 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 and then pop that one. Or you can do what we did on the front and put a couple of blocks and then a pane of glass and a couple of blocks, pane of glass, a couple of blocks, pane of glass. Doesn't matter how you do it, but you need to end up with a pane of glass in between all of these blocks of sand. So once the cactus grow to that height, it's going to break. And then you need to do that with all of these. So as I say, if you're good with your mouse, if you're good with mouse control, and I'm clearly not, can go all the way down doing that. And then, as I say, pop out all the panes that are in between the sand. Now that will join to the center column. That's not a problem. That's fine. That's expected. Okay. And then do it with the last two. So once you've done that, then, as I say, you've got a pane of glass between every one of those sand blocks. You missed one, so there's no panes of glass above that one. Panes of glass above all of those. Miss one, panes of glass, miss one, panes of glass. So now every time a cactus grows to the second level, it's going to break and fall off, and that's what forms the farm. So now you have something that looks a little bit like that. Now grab yourself your blocks of choice again, and you need to build up the corners of your farm. So you need to come up until you're the level of the roof. With is it 5 blocks there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 blocks, and then 5 blocks in the corner, and 5 blocks next to it. So you're left with that shape in the corners. And they come up 5 blocks until they're level with the roof. Remember, that's going to be the roof. So you need to do that on all 4 corners. 5 blocks. 5 blocks. There's 5. Over to the next corner. Okay, so now you're left with that. Now what you need to do is grab yourself some water. Grab yourself a couple of water buckets. Now if you're in survival, just get yourself an infinite water source somewhere close, so you haven't got to go rushing about. And then once you've started, you only need the infinite water source, or even better, start with 2 buckets, and then you can put down water here, and then you make yourself an infinite water source. So now you need to put water completely around the edge, but you need to miss the first 2 blocks in the corners. So you need to miss that one, and then put water down. Don't put water down on those 2 blocks, because if you do, you'll create an infinite water source in the middle, and it'll completely ruin this and any of the farms you've got below. So don't put water on those blocks. Start on the 3rd block in. And then if you miss a block and put a block of water, that block then is an infinite water source. So then you can pick that up with your empty bucket, go along 2, put down another one, go back, pick it up, go along 2, put down. And that way you don't need to carry around loads and loads of buckets of water with you. Now, as I say, that works great in survival. In creative, we don't need to do that. We can just fly about like people that fly about. But remember, do not put them on those 2 blocks. And I also suggest, if you can, get yourself some depth strider boots. Don't try and do this without depth strider boots. Really difficult. So grab yourself a pair of depth strider boots. And you want to do that on every side of the farm. So you want to miss that one, and then put water down there. Water down on all of them, apart from the 2 at the end. So miss that one, and then water. Very important that you only put them on these blocks. Don't put them on the blocks one further in as well, because that'll break the farm. So it's got to be on the first block in, and you've got to miss the 2 blocks in the corner. Okay, so miss that block, and then water. And then miss that block, and then you put down your water. Final side, last time, miss, and then water. And then miss the first one, miss the second one, put down some water. Okay, so now what you need to do now is put some water in the corners, but you need to put it one block up. Don't put it on the bottom block. As I say, that will break your farm, and most likely most of the farms underneath it. Don't put it on the bottom one, put it on the next one up. Put it on that block there. Okay? You want to do it on every corner. So go to the other side. Don't put it on the bottom, put it on the next one up. Put it on that one. Okay, not at the bottom, next one up. That one there. Final corner, not at the bottom, that one there. And now anything that falls in there is going to flow to the middle. And drop down your farm. So now you want to stick yourself some cactus in. So if you're in creative, if you're in survival, it's easy. Just jump over and put down a bit of cactus. Jump over, put down a cactus. But obviously we're in creative, so I don't have to do that. So put a bit of cactus on top of every one of those bits of sand. If you don't have enough cactus to go around, then just put a few down, and as soon as you start getting some cactus, you can come back up and finish the rest off. You can start this farm with just one cactus if you want to. Okay, so now you've got something that looks like that. Now you need to go around the edges and put in some glass. So grab whatever glass it is you want to use, or solid blocks if you want to, but obviously there's no point in filling it with solid blocks if you want it to look nice. And then go around the edges with glass until you get to one block from the top. And then on the top, that's your roof. That's where you're going to put your roof. Okay, so it's 4 layers of glass, 1 layer of solid blocks, and you need to do that all the way around. Okay, and then that's what you've got. Now the final job is to put the roof over the top of it and to throw down some lighting. So just completely cover the top for the time being with solid blocks. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you've put the roof on. Now we need to stick a bit of lighting in there. I've left the block like that just so I know where the middle is, whilst still not allowing the sun, the sky access light to go in there, because we don't want that to go in there because it's gonna break your potato and carrot farms under there. You could put a different kind of block in there if you wanted to, as long as it's not glass. Just to mark the centre, but it's just as easy to stick a block like that. We can swap it back later on. So now what you need to do is come out 3 on the diagonal, grab yourself some glowstone or some sea lanterns. I think we'll use glowstone again. So come out 3 diagonally. 1, 2, 3. Pop that out, and then put a bit of then put a glowstone on top of it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you want to come out another 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, like that. And then you need to put torches in there. Sorry, a glowstone in there, and in there. So you're sort of joining up the lines that you've just made. And that one is in line with the center, the hole in the center. And we can pop out the center block again and replace it with a solid block. If that's a top farm, if this is your top farm, you can leave that like that. If it's not, then mark that with a different coloured block, and that way when you build the farm, your next module on top of it, you'll know where the centre is. So now you're left with that, and that's pretty much the finished farm. There are 60 cactus plants in this farm, and a cactus plant on average grows once every, give or take, 18 minutes. It takes each plant about 18 minutes to grow and then break. And with there being 60 plants in here, and my maths is not fantastic, but I think that's a plant roughly every 30 seconds or so, give or take. Now, they grow based on random ticks. So it could take a minute for the cactus to grow. It could take a couple of days. It's random. But on average, the cactus plant will grow every 18 minutes. So you should be getting one bit of cactus every 30 seconds or so. So it's quite a productive farm. Before you know it, you're going to have chests full of cactus. You're not going to be short of any cactus. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, everybody. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Fully Off, and I'm out of here.